Okay, I can just see a couple of people are still joining, but let's get started. Hopefully a couple more people will join us shortly. Welcome to our postgraduate information evening for law and political economy. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. I hope everyone's well. Our thoughts are with those affected by the virus. My name is Matt Wicks. I'm the Communications and Marketing Officer here at Birkbeck, University of London. And I'm shortly going to hand over to Dr. Sappho Xenakis, who is our Programme Director for the Law and Political Economy Programme. Just a couple of housekeeping points to get started with. Please know this event is being recorded. There is a chat function where you will be able to ask questions at any point during the session today. And how you do that, if you can see at the bottom right of the screen, there is a couple of purple arrows. If you click that, and then there's a speech bubble or chat icon. That's where you'll be able to submit your questions. Feel free to type them in as you think. A colleague, Chloe, is also here to answer them, and Sappho will answer some at the end. Okay, Sappho, over to you.
Hello everyone. I hope you can see me. Welcome, and thank you very much for taking the time to log in to this taster session. Obviously, we appreciate it's a hugely difficult time for everyone. Whether or not you've been directly affected, it's extremely difficult to find the time, above all, to join together with people and to listen to events online. So thank you again very much. Hopefully you will be able to see the chat down the side. So if you have any questions as we're proceeding, please don't hesitate to add them there, and we'll be coming to the Q&A at the end. So as Matt said, my name's Sappho Xenakis. I'm the Programme Director. I'm Assistant Dean for Research at the School of Law. And also, which may be of interest to you, I am a co-director of Birkbeck's Centre for Political Economy and Institutional Studies, and I co-direct that with colleagues in politics and business. And that the acronym there is CPAS. And I also run, within the School of Law, I run the Criminology Seminar Series. And I've just got two indicative points. That's from the webpage that you can click through to. If you go onto the Criminology department, you'll see it there. And you may be interested to listen to the sort of events that we've run, some of which will be relevant to the course which is running now this autumn. For example, we have two talks there which aren't particularly relevant, but there will be other ones from previous years. This is just from 2020 that's up there, and you can click through and listen again. So why come to study at the School of Law at Birkbeck? Some of you may already have studied here, in which case thank you, and it's great to know that you'll be interested in continuing your studies at Birkbeck. For those of you who haven't previously studied at Birkbeck, this slide gives you a little brief history about it. It was the School of Law itself was founded in 1992, and very fitting with the ethos of Birkbeck itself, which was seen as quite a radical institution when it started, by having this mission to teach working people. The School of Law has, since its inception, been recognised for its critical approach to the study of law. And more recently, it has split into two departments, although there's a lot of connection between the two, so which is law and criminology. Over those two departments, we have 19 programmes with many full-time and part-time pathways. We have more than 30 full-time academic staff, as well as a further 60 part-time and adjunct faculty. We have internationally recognised research which feeds into our research-led teaching programmes, of which this is an example. And of course, we specialise in evening teaching. That's important to bear in mind if you're not familiar with Birkbeck. So, as I just mentioned, the mission of the School of Law, just as with Birkbeck, is to make it possible for those with working or caring responsibilities during the day to study at high levels at an internationally renowned university. So that means classes are held between 6 and 9 p.m. between Monday and Thursday, although exactly when you'll have your classes will depend on which module you're taking and whether you're full-time or part-time. And the teaching is primarily provided by way of lectures and seminars. One of the best things about coming to study at Birkbeck are your fellow students. As those of you who've already studied at Birkbeck will know, students have an enormous range of prior experience that they bring to the classroom. It's unlike a setting that you'll find in many universities in which students haven't yet experienced much of the world and may not have much to contribute to discussion. You are likely to come into settings where people have a lot to contribute and have worked in a variety of sectors, including in criminal justice settings, both within the UK and internationally. So why join us? Firstly, we are flexible. We teach in the evening, but many of our teaching materials are online permanently. Our lectures for core subjects are recorded. We have PowerPoint slides available and links that you can click through to further readings. So there's a lot of flexibility that we have cultivated in order to facilitate the learners that we are trying to help progress through our system. All our programs offer high quality research-led teaching. So as I said, the School of Law has achieved an enviable reputation as a centre both of innovative scholarship, but also critical scholarship and teaching and learning. And in the last Research Excellence Framework, which covers all higher level institutions across the UK, the School of Law at Birkbeck was ranked in the top 10 for research intensity in the UK and top 3 in London. And our research environment was judged conducive to producing research of the highest quality. And this all feeds in to the teaching that we provide to you. Our staff are recognised as experts in their fields. Once again, this impacts in the way that they are able to feed you cutting edge research, as well as the more established areas of research and contributions to research to your teaching. Academics within the School of Law are particularly interested in theoretically informed and multidisciplinary approaches to the study of law and criminology, as you can probably tell if you've looked at any of the modules that we provide, but also, and I'd encourage you to do this, if you look at staff profile pages, both within the School of Law, within the Department of Law and the Department of Criminology, you can see the publications of our staff members, and you can really see the interdisciplinarity of the work that's going on. We also have a particular page that I'll direct you to in a short while on the research clusters that we have within the School of Law, and you can see the diversity of our interests from that too. So beyond the diversity, though, there's another very important element to work going on within the School of Law, which is that it is unified in a very unusual way for law schools by a special attention to the role of values and methods and the interconnection between those things in the performance and the study of law. Another reason to join us is, of course, that we award graduating students with the University of London degree, a highly prestigious degree, part of the University of London, and as such, one of the global elite of universities. And in addition, students who are taking this course will have access to all University of London facilities and free membership to Student Central, which is the UOL student organisation. That's the University of London student organisation. I've indicated this partly already, which is we provide a great deal of support. So in addition to lectures and seminars, we also allocate you with a personal tutor who can provide you with one-to-one advice throughout the course of your degree. And we have also an academic support officer who offers tutorials and Saturday workshops to support those students who feel that their writing skills or research skills are a little rusty and would like to improve on them. And if you have a recognised disability or dyslexia, or think you may do and you like to get that checked, you can also get support from our disability experts to that end. After your degree, we have the Birkbeck Careers Service, an employability service, which provides a very comprehensive array of advice and also connections to events and information services for students, both online and face-to-face. And it's also worth flagging that our campus is in the heart of London, in the historic Bloomsbury area of London, just behind or next to the British Museum, and an array of libraries, universities and other colleges. And once you're a student, as those of you who are already students will know, you can use your Birkbeck library card to gain access to many of these. So why join us? Beyond Birkbeck as a whole, within the School of Law, I mentioned earlier the research intensity within the department, the environment which has been so praised by surveys carried out to date. And that's really testament to the array of activities that are put on by law school staff and students throughout the year. We have the Law and Criminology Research Seminar series. So these are 2 series, one of which I run, and that's open to staff and students and outside interested parties who want to attend. And these events run throughout the year. And if you would like to find more about those things, please do look at our events page or our research page, which I'll direct you to just down there, just at the bottom of the page. Here we are. These are the 2 links that you would need to click through to find out more. We also have a vast number of events run throughout the academic year by our research centres. Again, please do look at our research to learn more about our various research centres. And by cross-school research institutes, that's where our staff collaborate with staff across other schools at Birkbeck and run events there too. And we also have a very lively community of research students that put on their own events, including PGR, Postgraduate Research Conference, and masters and research students. Postgraduate research students tend to be involved in running a journal that's housed within the law school as well. So why this program? This program was launched in response to growing interest in the issue of the intertwined nature of politics and economics, and concerns about the impact of this relationship, particularly given declining social mobility and stagnant and rising inequalities in many parts of the world. What's also driven this program, and one of the reasons why it is an important and valuable program, is because it's co-taught at its core by a committed group of experts who have come together from across law, politics and business schools at Birkbeck to join together in research and teaching initiative. And we've come under this umbrella of the Centre for Political Economy and Institutional Studies. It's rather a new initiative. Over the last few years it's been running, and it's very exciting. And at the heart of this program is a spirit of voluntarism. So people, staff teaching in this area are conducting research in this area and really want to drive forward this program and research interests and see students progress. Hopefully there'll be some of you who may be interested in undertaking doctoral and postdoctoral work as you come out of these programs. I should say that this program is one of 3 new programs that the centre is launching, but the other 2 are being driven by politics and business. So what is special, what is different about this program as opposed to other programs being run in the School of Law? So the first thing to look at this slide, the top left-hand corner, you'll see it mentions compulsory modules. The first of those is Perspectives on Political Economy, and that is a module that I convene. It is at the heart of this program, and it is co-taught with colleagues from business and law, and each of those contributions has been tailored and created specifically for this course. It's not cherry picking from any other courses, and it is designed to really provide you with a very wide-ranging, thought-provoking introduction to what political economy can mean across these diverse disciplinary perspectives. The second compulsory module is a critical methods course in law and society research. And this is also a new course, cutting edge, designed to showcase the range of unique perspectives taken by law school staff, law department staff, in the way in which they approach the study of law. And bear in mind that our law school is really quite unusual as a law school for the reasons that I mentioned earlier in terms of its critical theoretical approach. And the last compulsory module is the Law Masters Research Project, which is an 8,000-word essay project for which you receive supervision. And above and beyond that, then you have a series of option modules, and these have been selected from across law, politics and business, and you will need to choose you will need to choose 180 credits worth of courses, 120 of which should be within law. So you take these 3 compulsory modules, which include the research project, and then you get to choose 3 option modules from across law, politics and business. And I thought you might be interested to hear a little bit about what I contribute just indicatively. So my expertise is in the political economy of crime and punishment, and I already run a course on global perspectives on crime and crime control, which is one of the option modules for this course. And so I've given there a list of indicative themes that we cover. In that course, we look at things like transnational organized crime, human trafficking, the criminalization of irregular migration, terrorism and counterterrorism, white collar and corporate crime, cybercrime. I look at relationship to politics, and surveillance and civil liberties ties in with that quite neatly. And then we also look at environmental and ecological crime. My own research on the international political of crime and punishment is actually one of the sessions that will either come into the workshop or the module for perspectives on political economy. So the perspectives on political economy module, which is this one that's co-taught across the schools, will have several contributions from each school, and my work on the political economy of crime and punishment from an international perspective will either go into one of those slots, or it will be a workshop that we will use as an introduction to the course at the beginning of the academic year. And within that, it's sort of bringing out criminology to new areas which it has not branched into so far in great depth. There's a lot of fragmentation in the field of criminology, as is the study of political economy within law. So part of what we're trying to do here is really generate new learning and new research at the same time as teaching you to go into these exciting areas and look what, in effect, is an extremely timely issue, not least because of all those discussions about the relationship between states, corporations, law, illegality, and harm to members of society, whether they are regular or irregular members of that society. Okay, we've gone through course structure. I've mentioned that there will be teachers, formal lectures, seminars, practical classes. So seminars, you may have a seminar. So for example, the perspectives course is a 2-hour session each week in which you'll have something like a lecture for an hour, followed by more discussion where you get to talk about the readings and go through questions that will be provided with each week. But the other modules in the law school tend to be more along the lines of a 1.5-hour session, which is part lecture and part more interactive amongst the students taking that seminar. The entry requirements for the programme are a second-class honours degree, 2 or above from a UK university or an equivalent international qualification, and English language requirements are important so that you can effectively manage the readings that you are introduced to. And I believe that's it, and time for the Q&A session. So if I have a look, I should be able to see your questions here. Right, so Thomas, thank you for your question. What are the students you anticipate having in terms of background, for example, law undergraduate degrees? So usually our students come from a wide array of backgrounds, and they don't have to be law. For example, whilst the law school does have many students who come up from studying law at an undergraduate program, but also criminology program into their master's programs. We have many people who come from other social science fields. I do think it's helpful if you've come from social sciences and the humanities, but it could be the case that someone who's taking, for example, business studies might also find this program interesting. And likewise, people who have been out of studies for a while but have been working in an allied area and have that kind of academic background should also find it of interest. Now, let me see if I hope that's answered your question. Is there an application deadline? I think Chloe will be able to answer that easier than me, but I think that we will have applications open until at least October. Chloe, are you able to clarify? I see that Matt Wicks has put the admission queries email up there in case you've got any questions, and that would be the sort of question you would aim to them. But I believe that we take applications up until October when teaching starts. Thank you. Are there any other questions? Thank you. So Chloe's confirmed it will be October, and law admissions will have an exact date. Can I just say that between now and then, we will be having a variety of online events, and Birkbeck Inspires has also kicked off. Birkbeck Inspires is an initiative launched on the 11th of May, which includes contributions from School of Law staff. For example, we've had a member of the school talking about the impact of their research into the impact of the coronavirus on prisons, and it's worth looking up those contributions. They are especially of interest, I would imagine, to people thinking of undertaking master's degrees. You're welcome. Are there any other questions? If you're interested in learning more about our events, please do look at our the law school webpage, homepage. And if you're interested in finding out more about the research of law school staff, including law school staff teaching on this program, please don't hesitate to look at our personal web pages on the school website, and you'll be able to click there through. We have an online depository for our research, and you can click through and read those pieces of work of ours without any difficulty accessing it, hopefully.
Thanks, Sappho. We'll just give it a couple of minutes to see if anyone has any further questions. Those of you who are in the chat will be able to see that we've put in a couple of links about the program itself. You can see Sappho's staff page there, a bit more information about our research, the events which Sappho mentions there in the chat. These will be emailed to you after this event for you to browse at your own pace. Eli says, thank you. Thank you for coming, Eli. We will be hosting further events for our postgraduate programs later on in this week. We'll send further details of those as well. We'll just wait to see if we get any questions in. Okay, I think that's it. I don't think we're going to get any more questions. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this afternoon. As Sappho mentioned, we know it is quite difficult in the current situation, but thank you very much for joining us online. Thank you, Sappho, for your time. Thank you for sharing about this program with us. Fascinating stuff. Hopefully, some of you who have joined us today are able to join us, and we will see you in the autumn. Thank you very much, everyone. Afternoon. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.